Have you ever noticed that some introverts eventually stop explaining themselves? Someone asks, "Why are you so quiet?" And instead of giving a real answer, they simply say, "I'm fine. Nothing. It's okay." From the outside, that can seem frustrating. People often assume they're being rude, distant, lazy, or emotionally unavailable. But what if the real reason is much stranger? What if their brain has learned that explaining themselves costs more energy than it's worth? Hi all, welcome to my channel Psychology of Introverts, your daily dose of psychological facts about introverts. I hope this will help you understand the introvert people that you greet and meet daily. This is my first video and wanted to make this a bit personal. Reason is simple. I'm an introvert and I feel like there are not many people who understand who I am or how I am. Anyway, let's see the world from an introvert's perspective. Many introverts aren't silent because they have nothing to say. They're silent because too much is happening in their minds at once. Research has consistently shown that introverts tend to spend more time processing information internally before responding. While others may think out loud, introverts often think first, edit second, and speak last. Before saying even a simple sentence, their mind may run through a checklist. Will this make sense? Am I explaining this clearly? Will I be misunderstood? Will this turn into a longer conversation? Will I have to defend my feelings afterward? And while all of that is happening, the moment to speak may already be gone. Imagine your thoughts are stored inside a giant, messy library. For some people, answering, "What's wrong?" is like grabbing a single book from a shelf. For many introverts, it's like walking through thousands of shelves trying to find the exact book that explains what they're feeling, then finding the right page, then translating it into words, then deciding whether it's even worth sharing. That mental process can be exhausting, especially if past experiences taught them that people interrupt before they're finished, or dismiss what they're saying, or twist their words into something they never meant. The brain learns from repetition. If explaining yourself repeatedly leads to frustration, judgment, or misunderstanding, the brain starts looking for shortcuts, and eventually it asks a simple question. Why spend 10 minutes explaining something if nobody is really listening? That's when silence becomes efficient. Not because they don't care, because they've learned it requires less effort. This also explains why some introverts sometimes seem to expect people to just get it. From the outside, that can look unfair. Nobody can read minds. But often that's not what they're asking for. They're not looking for someone who magically knows every thought in their head. They're looking for signs that someone is paying attention. Someone who notices that their energy changed, that their tone sounds different, that they're quieter than usual, that something feels off. Because to them, attention feels like understanding. And understanding feels safer than having to explain everything from the beginning. There's another factor too: social energy. For many introverts, conversation isn't just talking. It's processing information, reading emotions, choosing words carefully, monitoring reactions, and adjusting responses in real time. That takes mental effort. When they're already emotionally tired, explaining a complex feeling can feel like solving a puzzle while running on low battery. So is this laziness? Usually not. More often it's a combination of overthinking, emotional exhaustion, fear of being misunderstood, past experiences that made vulnerability feel risky, and a desire to conserve limited social energy. The quiet person may have a complete explanation already written inside their head. Paragraphs, examples, reasons, feelings, connections, but translating all of it into words feels like more work than staying silent. So they say, "I'm fine," and the conversation moves on. Silence doesn't always mean emptiness. It doesn't always mean indifference. And it doesn't always mean there's nothing to say. Sometimes silence is what happens when a mind is carrying too many thoughts at once. Sometimes the quietest person in the room is having the loudest conversation inside their head. And sometimes they stop explaining themselves not because they don't care, but because they've learned that not everyone is willing to understand.